Sinister Squad is a fairy tale horror movie. The movie takes place when Rumpelstiltskin ends up getting the magic mirror and he breaks it. Nobody knows why he did that, but because he did that, he intertwines a whole bunch of fairy tale worlds into one, and now they're just trying to figure out what's going on. So Alice from Alice in Wonderland decides that she wants to kidnap a whole bunch of the big baddies to form a squad to fight against death, and one of them is Rumple, and they ask him why he destroyed the magic mirror, and the answer was that death basically needed it where he could leave hell and be on the living world. So the movie is basically about death trying to get the broken pieces of this magic mirror, realizing that you can't do that. He decides he wants to get a scythe that Alice and her little crew of Pippi Longstocking and Goldilocks took, and basically they gotta fight Death's little minions, have the Sinister Squad fight against Death. There's betrayal, there's action, and that's about the movie. So my review for Sinister Squad. Now, in no shape or form is this some kind of crazy good movie, but when I looked up the ratings for this movie, giving this movie a 20% is criminal, as the movie is definitely not that bad at all. It's halfway decent. And from somebody who's recently watched some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, this was even remotely close to that list. I mean, the acting was halfway decent, the production was halfway decent, the story was halfway decent, the dialogue wasn't cringy for these type of movies. It wasn't bad at all, like at all. And what seemed to kind of be just a fairy tale Suicide Squad, but wasn't as good as that, but was still kind of fun to watch, wasn't all that bad. I think maybe this movie would have really excelled if they just did a lot better on the costume designs, and maybe has some of the kills just a lot better. Also, when movies like this get rated so harshly and nobody really messes with them, it kind of sucks, is because this did lay some groundwork for a second one that if they just pumped more into that budget could have been really good. Like the whole fairy tale story shenanigans was really good to me. And personally, even though I don't really rate anything with numbers anymore, I would say this movie's like a 40-45 out of 100. It wasn't that bad. So with that, my recommendation for Sinister Squad, I actually was thinking about making a new recommendation just for this movie, because I would kind of recommend this, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I don't want it to be not a recommendation because it was halfway decent. But if we were to be serious, I don't want to make a new section for just one movie, so slap the sticker. I'm going to have to put a not recommended on it. For as good as I said it is, and I think it is a halfway decent watch, it's just not as good as other movies that I would say are recommended, so I just can't put it in that section, unfortunately.